All right, so welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawleys, and we do conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we do recaps, reviews, and commentary on our favorite shows, and sometimes not our favorite shows, just shows we watching. This one is all about love and marriage DC. So if this is content that you enjoy, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, request notifications,
and share.
And we'll see you in the comments. Consider becoming a member, checking out the merch store, and sticking around to the end of the video. Consider those things. All right. So, Love and Marriage DC back for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get a chance to film episode 1 of this season. Mm-hmm. Long story short,
they were just pretty much getting back together,
right,
and introducing Joy and Cliff
from Ready to Love DC Potomac Edition. So good to see them kind of moving forward. Again, they are one of the success stories from Ready to Love. Now, is it just me? Or does Jason, who is Jamie and Irena's son, who is blind, don't he give you some some I'll be sure vibes?
Like in the face, he does look. He favors him.
He looked like he could be a body double or a face double for him at least. So
yeah.
But the big thing at the end of the first episode was that they were having a party to celebrate Jason, and then.
Well, there was two big things.
Yes, so that was the big thing, and then it opened the door for the big confrontation between Jamie and little Jamie, who, if you remember last season, was facing some serious charges.
Some really serious charges.
Right.
And it came out for the beginning episode that Jamie was a police officer.
Yes.
But he indicates now he's retired.
Right.
So I was wondering if he was like at the end before he retired, he was still considered.
He couldn't say what it. Yeah.
He couldn't say that he was.
Because y'all remember last year it was like, he a cop, but ain't nobody saying that.
Why nobody saying he a cop?
But he this DJ party thrower. Okay.
Yeah, he throwing parties.
All right. So basically, this episode picks up with kind of the continuation of that beef or argument between Jamie and little Jamie.
Right, because at one point they were good, and they were trying to help him understand what was going on with his court case and everything, right. And they were praying that he wouldn't have to spend any time in jail.
Exactly.
And so that's the main thing, and that he was trying to turn his life around.
Right.
So we're seeing some really good things.
Good things, right? Yeah. But then I think what what caused this one was he had asked, he didn't get a job, not because of a drug test, but because of a background.
Right.
And then something happened with a ticket.
Well, let's think about, let's break this down just a tad bit.
There's a few things, yeah.
When you're talking about working with the public and you're talking about like a hospital or something, I don't understand why his father didn't know he was going to have a background check. Yeah. Because it was like his friend was supposed to help him get a job.
Right.
His friend can't cover up for no background check.
Nope.
And that's done by HR.
Yep. So
you would think you would want to set your son up with something where either it doesn't require a background check or for them, something else. Because a lot of times that's the first thing I'm going to ask. If I know that I'm trying to get someone a job and they got something on their record, first thing I was like, is there going to be a background check? Because he ain't going to be able to pass it.
Right.
Or these are his things on his record. Do you take? He should have had a list of places that would take him, depending on what his case is.
Especially if it's recent, right? Exactly. If it's 20 years ago, may not have as much impact. But if it was in the last 5 years, especially if it was 3 months ago, it's gonna have some impact.
So, and then the young man gets a speeding ticket,
right?
So, and he asked them to help pay it. Now, from his side, little Jamie says he wasn't mad that they didn't pay it because they said no. But from Jamie's side, he was like, well, they go into all the things. He's like, well, I'm giving you money, but it's not a lot because he don't have a job.
Right.
He's like $200 a week or something, which could take care of maybe putting a little gas in the car or whatever.
Right.
So, but then right? What plays in the mind is all the other stuff you done did wrong.
Right.
So you're compiling that on that, and then there's this butting of heads and confrontation because no one's getting their point across about what they're frustrated and tired about.
Right. So so that kind of catches things up. So little Jamie is out in the hallway having almost a breakdown, but I'm not saying that like.
Oh, you want to at least mention they did have the party.
Yes, they had the party.
The party because his son Jason will be going off
to the program.
So he can be independent, which any child should want.
Right.
So he's excited about that, and that's what the party was. Main thing is like he's gonna be leaving, so they're losing, their son to go off to school.
Right.
So they're just trying to celebrate him.
Right.
The picture was cool. We got to mention all the positive stuff. So he did get a picture where everything was elevated. Yeah, so he could touch it and see. Well, with his hand, he could see with his hands.
Right.
So I thought that was cool too.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Now to the drama.
To the drama. Yes. So little Jamie's out in the hallway, and production's like, Jamie, you gotta come quick, Jamie. Now, the way it was.
Well, there was a fight,
right?
Because
they did have a little argument,
because he said, "Hey, let me holler at you," because he did show up for his brother,
right?
Let me holler at you. Okay, you haven't been talking to it. I don't think it's a good time to talk. I know you might not see him again, but you're celebrating one son. We're not gonna even initiate that. I know it's bothering you, it's on the top of your head, but this is not the time.
Right.
Just enjoy your son who's going off to school.
Yeah. So when production pulls him out, my concern or issue with that is that it was almost like escalating it further.
Oh, it was.
Because they separated. If nothing else, I would say send the mother out. Let the father, Big Jamie, cool off, enjoy his son's party, what have you. If you need, because you're concerned about little Jamie, then bring the mother out. Let her be the mediator in some respects.
Which she always has been.
Right, which she has been already. And then that way you're not re-escalating the situation. So basically, yeah. So Arana even tells Jamie, little Jamie, that look, you cut the family off when you're going through stuff. And he's like, well, I cut the world out. I hear what you're saying, but there's a difference between cutting off the world and cutting out your family.
Well, but if you feel like your family, because this is what he says, my dad is only pointing out that I didn't get the job. He's not celebrating the fact that I wasn't high.
Yeah.
It was because of my record. And he was trying to tell, he says, right, because we weren't there, little Jamie was like, I wasn't upset they didn't pay my ticket.
Right.
But when you hear Jamie, he's like, I'm the bad guy. He hates me. It's like, I feel like Big Jamie is projecting how he may have not been what his son needed him. Okay. Because I think every parent's like, did I screw my kid up?
Yeah.
Did I do too much? Should I have done less? Have I been, making him codependent on us? So I think he's projecting some of his feelings as well of what's happened.
Gotcha.
And they need a mediator other than the mom.
True. Quick even tries to come and talk to little Jamie, and it's like, hey, you grown. How would you feel if, another grown man coming to you trying to tell you, to come handle your stuff? You need to handle your own stuff. And little Jamie was like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't need to hear that right now. So he's in a place where he's not able to hear even someone trying to just step in and trying to give him a different perspective.
Correct.
Right. So enough about that for right now.
Yeah, I mean, what I think also was going on was we got the dynamics of Joy now and Cliff in it, and Joy was trying to share with the ladies that she had a speaking engagement.
It is with the Steve Harvey Foundation, I guess, and it was for single mothers who are ready to love. And Ashley and her best friend were like, wait, you ain't got no kids.
Right. How are you going for something for a single? But
the focus is being ready to love. Whether you're single mothers or just single women, being ready to love. And that's you're playing off of Joy being on Ready to Love.
And that's what they were pretty much doing, right? Because they're trying to get people interested in coming out to the event. And if I was a speaker, I can make sure I'm trying to present it to the audience that was given. But if someone gives me an opportunity and say, hey, I'm calling you, we would love to have you speak and pay for you to speak, I'm not going to speak.
I'm going to go talk.
You know.
I'll figure out what to say.
Everyone's ready to love a certain...
If y'all want us to come speak on something, my email address is down in the description. We're open. Listen,
we're open to speak, but
get us flued out. We'll be there.
But the point is like, she's like, I know that, but they asked me. It wasn't like I went and say, hey,
they ain't asked you.
And you have a show.
Yep.
You had all the episodes to you.
Yep.
So, and maybe that's why they were upset.
Possible.
You know, so Joy was a little taken back about that.
Yeah. So that dynamic will be interesting to watch going forward. And then, why is Wynter back?
Yeah, because now we're in the second episode.
So Wynter, if you remember from last season, she was introduced as
a friend.
Monique's friend, right? Monique ain't on the show. So
and Wynter ain't married.
So, and the whole thing of love and marriage, she don't fit none of the criteria. Why is she there?
She fit for the drama?
So we find out that Wynter released a song. Basically, some producer produced a song for her Sign My Papers song. You remember the gospel song that she did last season? So she released that actual song, and now she's recording a new song called Gutter Barbies. I can just so much see that going to the top of the charts. Listen,
one hit wonder. She just need one hit.
And she just need one hit. It's more of a, I wonder why she even has that song. That's the one hit wonder she is for me.
Well,
I listen. I've sung before in the past. Thank you.
It didn't sound great, even what we heard. I was just
auto-tune might not be able to help that.
I'm just like, okay, whatever. And the producer's wife also knows the ladies.
Yes.
So, you know, she's talking to her. So, what's this song? Blah, blah, blah.
What's it
about? Is this empowering? She's like, no.
This is what it is.
No.
And
this is about just getting...
And the producer's wife, Sherelle, I think is her name, right? She was like, well, I'm friends with Ashley and I'm building that relationship. I'm going to let her know. I'm snitching. She going to know that you writing this song or that you singing this song about her.
Then Ashley's talking to her and she's like, yeah, and I got receipts on...
you mean Wynter?
Wynter. Yes, she's talking to her, and they're going into depth about she having receipts on people.
Right.
And she's trying to explain to her, if you came to me saying you got receipts, you need to show me.
Right.
Just don't be saying stuff and not showing people the receipts.
Yep.
So she's like, look from this perspective. I wouldn't like you either. That's what she's trying to tell her.
Right. So, Ashley, you remember last season she was finishing up her book. The book is now done, so she's doing like promos for it, and so she goes on like Good Day Baltimore or something like that, Be More Wake Up or Be More Get Your Butt Out of Bed, whatever it might be. And so they of course ask her questions about the book, and then it's like, we hear about Chris and Monique, and she's like, that
ain't about my book. I didn't write about them.
So she dodges the question, but if we're honest, the only reason that Be More Wake Up or whatever it is reached out to her was not because she wrote a book, because people write books all the time, and that doesn't mean that you automatically get called for whatever it is, Wake Up in your city. the chances are that because she was on the show and Chris and Monique were an integral part of the show, because again, this was filmed before the taping of this season, that's part of the conversation because it's an interest piece, because people are interested, not just because of your book, but also because of how they came to know who you even were in this whole process. So,
and if she go on another one, she got to be prepared. It may come back up again.
It's going to come up again. So, Jamie and Arena are at the house. And Jamie, I guess the retirement life don't work too well because he fell down upstairs.
Well, because this is the day after the event with Jason. And they're both still, in that moment about fighting with their child. So that can be a mental toll on anybody, And so he tried to come down the stairs because she's calling him, and he sure enough slipped. I thought he broke his back or something.
Bro, listen.
She's like, take them slippers off.
You still got to be working to get workman's comp. just a little hint there. But long story short, out of that conversation, Arena's like, listen, y'all need some counseling. We need to have a third party who don't know you, don't know our son, have a conversation. And she mentions that she's kind of afraid because just the thought of mental health and potential suicide, right, is kind of what she kind of hints at. So she's like, we need to have a third party mediate and help y'all, because that's one of the things that's going to be useful, is having a third party be able to help each of you see each other's perspective.
It should have happened a long time ago, right?
Oh yeah.
Anytime your son, especially when you're a police officer and your son starts to get into criminal activity.
Yep.
That conversation and you figuring out what's going on should have happened a long time ago.
Absolutely.
It's a hard job, right? I can imagine him seeing kids his son's age going through things,
right,
and trying to keep his son from doing things, but may have turned around and caused more problem than he thought.
Yeah.
So,
Ashley is meeting with her best friend, and they're first talking about the book, and Ashley talks about she's supposed to meet with her sister because her sister's concerned about how Ashley and her mom will respond or react to the book, which deals with Ashley's kind of life story,
being
depression, being a teen, what have you. And Ashley and her best friend is like, but it happened, so how you feel about it, you can feel whatever way, but you can't get past the fact that this happened. Because part of the thing is that the mom left the house when Ashley was 16. Just kind of was like, you grown, I'm gone. So interesting to see that. Now, they did get best friend tattoos.
Yeah, something they saw on TikTok.
Yes.
Where one would get the eyes and then one would get
the smile, the
mouth. And they bring in a tattoo artist. I was like, I don't know why y'all didn't go to shop. Because
bro, man, spent 20, 30 minutes
trying to set up like a whole table.
To go zit.
Right.
Zit.
Right.
Zit. All right, I'm done.
I'm like, he charged them a grand. Because by the time I have to come out to wherever you are in some part of Maryland.
Because they don't live in Southeast D.C. Their houses are not Southeast D.C.
No.
They not.
So, gotta come all the way out to you. And then my time to set up, somebody better be getting an elaborate tattoo.
Listen.
So hopefully they were getting more than just the little small lines they had on their finger.
You could do a drive-by tattoo in that. Just do a drive-through tattoo. Just stick your finger out. Be like, here.
Oh my God. I was like, really?
So, yeah. And then they do talk about joy and just kind of that whole thing. And they're kind of saying that they didn't mean it in a mean way, but it did come off that way.
It did come off that way. I know you could be like, oh, so I would rather like, well, so how's your approach, with these women who have kids, how would you approach them concerning dating?
Yeah. Which
to me, again, maybe, but those are things anyone could say, like tell them, maybe make sure they mention that they have children, different things like that, what time. Yeah. So, but anyway.
Joy and Arena talk, And we find out that they've been hanging out a lot. Jamie and Clifton evidently go back ways as far as friends. And so they kind of bring up again the issue of the ready to love single moms whole thing. And Arena's like, I don't think it was meant to be mean. I can see kind of how you feel that way.
And Joy's like, I grew up in Baltimore. I know what them chicks are. So I'm just going to give them a pass.
I know Baltimore shade when I see it.
Right. She's like, I'm going to give them a pass. But she's like, I'm from Baltimore too.
Right. So I know how people roll.
Right.
And then Ashley has her Fun Time Moms event. And I don't know why those ladies were just standing outside. I don't know what time it was supposed to start. But it was just weird that you have like a lot of your guests just standing outside lining up.
Right. And even at one point, her help was like, should I let them in so they can at least sit right here? She's like, oh no, they need to wait. Everything is not set up. And
but then you still see people coming in. Of course, the people that are,
hosting
friends or hosting whatever. So
yeah, because if I come to your event, and supposedly it's supposed to be during the day, so while the children are at school.
Right.
So if I only got a short window, I'd be like, I'm not coming, or I know you prone to be late.
And if I'm not, here's the thing: if I'm not rushing to try and get like open admission general seating, I'm gonna sit in my car. I'm not standing out there
because there's no place to sit. They were just tables standing.
Would you be standing out there in hot pink
and in heels, waiting for 20 minutes? You know my time limit on my shoes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
So basically, we find out also that Ashley and Arena, they was like, look, we're going to go on Etsy and create us some Ghetto Barbie shirts and sell them so they make money off the Ghetto Barbie name.
They sure they did. And I was like, you might as well trademark it. Yeah, y'all on TV. Take your money, put it together. If you really want to make it a business, trademark it so every time Wynter or Snowflake, whatever you want to call her, mentions it, she has to pay you.
Yep.
Now that's the get back.
That's how you run game.
That's the get back.
Listen. Yeah.
Let her sing about it. And so I can make money off of it.
Yep. That's how you get, So, yes, we find out that their nickname for Wynter is now Snowflake. Because at first she said, what's Snowflake talking about now? And Sherelle just kept kind of going on past it. It was like, wait, who's Snowflake? Wynter? That's what we call him. It's kind of funny, though. In fact, I give that a better rating of the nickname than, what was it, DJ Fun Size. Because remember, Wynter came up with a nickname for Quick last season. I like Snowflake. All right. I like the nickname Snowflake. Let me put it that way. But Sherelle, the producer's wife, shows up. And Ashley introduces her to Joy. And Joy's like, Because we find out that Joy was in a band with the producer, Black, I think is his name, right? But then that group fell apart because, according to Joy, things that Black did that were selfish and kind of took away from the band. So Joy's like, don't be mad if I hate anything associated with that man. So I'm not going to give his wife the time of day because she married to him and he caused the breakup of the band and we couldn't do what we needed to do.
Like, you start messing with my money. When things start messing with my money, you messing with me. Yep. So Joy, and I know the music community, they're a small community. Everybody knows everybody. So
yeah. So long story short, Sherelle kind of lets everyone know about the whole Gutter Barbie song. She's like, it's not a diss track, and Ashley's like, but it's about me and Arena. So how could it not be a diss track? She's like, well, it's trying to pay old and pay homage to you. How'd that work?
No, not at all. Because she told her. She told her what it was about.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and just tell the truth. If you're saying that you're coming to tell the truth.
Stop playing both sides. That just never works.
Play the truth. So, but then using her, Wynter's using her pretty much to tell Raina, hey,
I want to try and be friends.
I want to talk because I'm trying to stay on the show. So I need some more scenes.
I need somebody to film with.
So I need you to come out. So and Raina's like, I'll meet with her because I want to know. I was like, Ashley's like, you can go ahead and meet with her. I'm done.
Because remember, Ashley had squashed everything last season.
She did.
And then Snowflake went back and did something else. So Ashley's like, I ain't got time for it.
She's like, first time you apologize, and then after that, you still keep doing what you're doing.
You keep doing the messy behavior.
She's like, I'm not bothering. I'm not doing it.
Because what did she say? She said, I'm not messy all the time. Which means that you admit that you are messy.
Right.
So yeah, Arena sits down with Snowflake, with Wynter.
With Wynter.
And again, Wynter just keeps bringing up, I keep getting things from people, right?
Stop
so she
accepting.
she reads what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like someone's opinion. It's not tea. Right?
Exactly.
It's not like, here's the receipts of where you went wrong or what happened in your relationship.
Right.
It's somebody's opinion that from the outside looking in, everybody's going to have an opinion of how a relationship is going, how a family operates, what have you.
Don't know nothing.
Don't know anything. Because Wynter kept trying to say, someone in your circle is snitching. Somebody in your circle is telling stuff. She's like, that ain't nobody in my circle. People in my circle know exactly what happened. So that was it for this one. We'll kind of see. Of course, things will get kicked up a notch as we go on.
It seems like it does.
Yeah. So, but let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments. And we'll see you all next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.